Hello everyone, welcome to your partner in education, Agile Rank Mate. Today, in this episode of Know Your NMAT, we're going to be looking at some sample questions of the NMAT examination. So we're going to be looking at questions related to logical reasoning and how to solve them effectively. So let's start off, shall we? A question is followed by two statements, numbered 1 and 2. Using the information provided and general knowledge, decide whether the information given is sufficient to solve the problem. Is x squared minus y squared even? The two statements given are x plus y is even and x minus y is odd. So we have two separate cases. In the first case, x plus y is even, and in the second case, x minus y is odd. And the options for this particular question are as follows. Statement 1 alone is sufficient, but statement 2 alone is not sufficient. Statement 2 alone is sufficient, but statement 1 alone is not sufficient. Both statements together are sufficient, but neither statement alone is sufficient. Each statement alone is sufficient. Statements 1 and 2 together are not sufficient. So, how do we solve this question? Well, let's look at the problem itself. The problem is to find out whether x squared minus y squared is even. Now we have two cases. In the first case, x plus y is even, and in the second case, x minus y is odd. Now if you look at case 1, x plus y is even. Now we know that x squared minus y squared can be, simplified because it's the difference of squares. So we use the algebraic expression x plus y times x minus y to represent x squared minus y squared. Now, so we know that x plus y is an even number. So therefore we can, remove x plus y from the right-hand side and write even times x minus y, because we're representing an even number multiplied to x minus y. So, here we're dealing with multiplication of even and odd numbers. Now, in this particular scenario, we would need to check out how this works. First of all, we have the even number multiplied by an even x minus y. Now, that stays even. Example being 2 times 6 gives you 12. Now, what if an even number is multiplied with an odd number? Well, it actually stays even. For instance, 3 times 6 is equal to 18. 3 is odd, 6 is even, and 18 is even. So the product of an even and odd number is still even. Now from here, what that means is that we get a unique answer. So for the question, is x squared minus y squared even? The right answer is yes. So irrespective of the value of x minus y, if we know that x plus y is an even number, then we can safely conclude that x squared minus y squared is also even. So what does that mean? That means statement 1 is correct, and it is sufficient to solve the problem. So just by knowing that x plus y is even, we were able to find out that x squared minus y squared will always remain even. So that means statement 1 alone actually is sufficient. Now, what does this mean? This means that we can eliminate a few options here. Option B, we can eliminate because it says statement 1 alone is not sufficient. Option C is also incorrect because it says neither statement alone is sufficient. So that means it says statement 1 alone is not sufficient, which is wrong. And option E says statement 1 and 2 together are not sufficient. That's incorrect. Now, sufficiency while being together is actually weaker than sufficiency being alone. So if statement 1 is already sufficient standing by itself, then you don't really have to club them together to consider them not sufficient. So option E is also incorrect. So we do have two options here, and they depend on the sufficiency of statement number 2. Are both of those statements sufficient alone, or are both of those is statement 1 sufficient, but statement 2 is not? Well, let's look at statement number 2. In statement number 2, x minus y is an odd number. Now, our question was, is x squared minus y squared even? So again, we use the difference of squares formula to get x plus y times x minus y. However, in this case, x minus y is an odd number, so we replace x minus y with odd. Now, from here, how do we solve it? Well, for that, we need to take the two cases with multiplication. So if x plus y is even and x minus y is odd, we still get an even number. Case in point, 4 times 9 gives you 36. So if you had an odd number multiplied by an odd number, that would be an odd product. For example, 3 times 9, which gives you 27. 3 is odd, 9 is odd, 27 is also odd. Whereas in the first case, 4 is even, 9 is odd, and 36 happens to be even. So, therefore, we can conclude that for x squared minus, now the question we had is x squared minus y squared even? Condition given was x minus y is considered to be an odd number. Now here, we cannot say outright that x squared minus y squared is even, because as you can see, there are two separate scenarios, so therefore, there is no unique answer, which means it depends on the value of x plus y to know that x squared minus y squared is even. So if x plus y is even, then and x minus y is odd, then the product x squared minus y squared is still even. However, if x plus y was ever to become odd, then you have an odd number times an odd number, which gives you an odd product. So, there is no unique answer for this particular question, so therefore, what this means is that statement 2 alone is not sufficient. So, that means option D here turns out to be incorrect, because it says both statements standing on their own are sufficient. However, the truth is that statement 1 alone is sufficient, but statement 2 alone is not. So therefore, the right answer is option A. Statement 1 alone is sufficient, but statement 2 alone is not sufficient. So that concludes this question and this episode of Know Your NMAT. We hope you found this episode interesting. For more of our useful and interesting content, don't forget to subscribe to Agile Rankmate, your partner in education. If you want to get the latest updates from our channel, then please don't forget to hit the bell icon present below the video. So until the next webisode, take care, stay alert, bye-bye for now.